Radio.
Good morning and welcome to Coffee Ann, the longest running panel discussion show in American radio. To make a comment or ask a question to the panel, call 401-766-1240 or email coffee@woonsocketradio.com. And now, let's join the Coffee Ann panel.
Good morning to you. It is Coffee Ann time on ON Radio, Thursday morning, February 8th. Thanks for joining us. My name is Joe Callahan. That's Bob Lauder. Hey, Bob.
Good morning. Good to be with you.
Nice to have you here with us as well. And Dave Richards is sitting in as well as we await. Hi, Dave.
Can you imagine the radio people listening in, hearing you saying, "That's Bob Larder"?
That's Bob Lauder.
Not polite to point, you
He
know.
also played the animals just as I was walking in earlier.
I know.
And said, "Here come the animals." So you know, it's
appropriate.
It's appropriate. Hey, Sunday afternoon, big things are happening. I've been told big things are happening.
Right.
Now, what's your analysis of the two teams?
That's Joe's question of you.
Yeah, I was going to ask that later. But
Wait, you
my
asked me
analysis
that
of the-
question, the deer in the headlights.
Both very good. Obviously, they made it to the Super Bowl. But I think Kansas City has got the slightly better talent. So
Okay.
look for KC to win this game on Sunday by a small margin, like by 7 points, 1 touchdown.
Okay.
That's what.
Now, is that going to be the Taylor Swift factor?
I guess.
Okay.
I'm not sure. I don't care that she's there. I know we'll see her every 5 minutes. Oh, there she is. Okay.
It brings popularity to the sport. That's wonderful.
And, you know, I heard Roger Goodell, who is the NFL commissioner. I heard him speak, and he's beside himself with happiness that she comes to the games. And he goes, because it's just drawing in new fans, new younger female fans.
Great. Good.
His analysis, I don't think is spot on, because he thinks the younger female fans are gonna, they're watching for Taylor, but then they're gonna watch the game and get interested in the game. All right, my daughter's in that perfect age group. She could absolutely care less about the game, and she was. I just want to see Taylor. She's not interested in the football game. Doesn't really care who wins. She knows who's playing, but it's not ingrained in her head. Okay, next year, well, I'm watching football from week 1 because I like this game. That's I'm thinking that's going to happen with the majority of young female fans who didn't watch football to begin with. Okay, they're being drawn in because Taylor Swift is there, but as soon as she's gone, they're going too. Thanks, it was nice being here, but we're not sticking around. We don't understand this game. It takes years to understand, basically. And because I started when I was 6, watching the game, and it takes a while to watch it over and over to finally get what is going on.
Well, at least it brings it in now.
Yeah,
That's good.
and he's happy with that. All right, law question for you, Bob.
Uh-oh.
Here we
Yes.
go. We got in the news story here. Master P and Snoop Dogg are filing a lawsuit against some of the biggest food retailers in the country. The rappers say the companies conspired to halt their efforts to sell their cereal brand. All right. According to a TMZ report, they hired famed criminal attorney Benjamin Crump, C-R-U-M-P. Ever hear of him?
No,
Okay.
but I don't do that much criminal work any longer.
To file a lawsuit against Post Cereal and Walmart after both allegedly teamed up to ruin their deal to sell Snoop cereal and Mama Snoop cereal. So the question...
What are the facts that they have to substantiate their claim?
Well, the question I have for you is how do you prove this? How do you prove that these two companies conspired against them? I don't have any more information than what I just told you.
I would imagine that they're probably going to try and have some access to internal communications between the companies.
they're going to force discovery.
Yes,
All
well,
right.
of course, in any case like that.
Okay.
But I think it would be along those lines.
That would give them access to things that they could make the claim on.
Actually, some substantiation for the claim, as Dave was saying.
They don't have it now, but they suspect it's there. And if they file a lawsuit, they are entitled to discovery to compel the other side to give them the evidence they needed to make the lawsuit in the first place.
Should have been a lawyer.
Yeah.
So
You should.
I guess this guy Crump, their lawyer, he'll be able to go and get all that stuff
Yes.
if he can find it.
Yes, in any litigation, you have the opportunity for discovery on each side. Mm-hmm. So, as Dave is saying, it's right. They'll be asking for internal evidence as to what they believe is going to prove their case.
Now,
Okay.
would you call this a speculative lawsuit? Would it be termed a speculative lawsuit?
I don't necessarily think so, because I would imagine that they must have some inkling as to a ground for it before they brought the case to file the case in court.
Well, I guess they've been in talks with them, and they probably said, okay, yeah, it's a go, and then all of a sudden, okay, it's not. We don't want to sell your cereal anymore, or ever. So,
No, I hadn't read about this one before, and I don't know any more about it than what you just told me.
okay,
Do you know what I think?
please
What?
tell us.
I think we should say good morning to Sue Tessia McKenzie.
Yeah, there
Yes.
she is.
Good morning.
Hi, Sue. Nice to have you here with us.
With another new outfit. Wow.
Well, it's a new week, so
It's right. It's a new day.
that's right. So I got another law question though for you, Bob, and this has got nothing to do with what we just
Don't
talked
want
about.
to talk to Sue?
We will in a minute.
Oh,
She's
jeez.
gonna get her bearings.
Okay.
You see this on the law shows every now and again on TV, and I want to know just how prevalent this happens and how easy is it to be done. And that is, you see underage children that want to be emancipated. They want to get away from their parents and be on their own. You know, they're 16 or 17, and you know the shows, of course, it's TV, of course, and the shows always side with the kids, and they get emancipated, and everybody's happy there at the end except the parents. Have you ever dealt with this? Have you ever seen it happen in Rhode Island? And how difficult is it for if a child wants to be emancipated in Rhode Island?
I have never seen it take place in the family court of Rhode Island.
Okay.
I can do some research on it for you and get a better answer. But I would think it's going to be very difficult to do that, because I believe the court is going to be looking out for the best interest of the minor.
Right.
And the fact that a child believes I'm independent and make decisions on my own and should no longer be under the control of my parents until I'm the age of 18, I think is going to be a tough call for anybody in the family court. I think that what a alternative would be is the court could say, okay, your parents are not the best influence in your life, but we're going to appoint somebody else, a guardian or something along those lines, to actually have control of the decisions you make up until the time that you become 18 years old and legal emancipation. I would think it's unlikely, but I'll do some research for you, that the Family Court of Rhode Island would say, okay, you're 16 years old, you think you know everything, and we agree with you, and you're on your own, and you no longer have the protection or the oversight of your parents.
Well, it must have happened at some point in the past, not just Rhode Island.
What
but
are
around
some of the
country.
reasons that are given in these shows?
Abuse
Okay.
from the parents.
Yeah.
Them also not messing around with their funds,
Okay.
kind of thing. So those are usually the two biggest ones. I want control. My parents are stealing from me, basically, is what they're saying.
Right.
So,
Okay, so these are children who are somehow earning money.
yeah, you hear about these every
Or
now
it
and
could
then.
be a trust from a grandparent. That I have heard of
Yep.
that.
Most of the time you see, these kids that go on YouTube and make videos and they get sponsorships and make a ton of money.
Okay,
But they're also 13 years old and 15 years old doing this. So
I would think that it's much more likely that the court is going to appoint a conservator to handle the assets of the
Yeah.
child. I don't think that the court would, in Rhode Island, be likely to say to a 14-year-old child, even though you're making a very large sum of money from your YouTube or your TikTok
Yep.
communications, that you're going to be entirely free in how you handle this.
Okay.
Because I don't think a child that age, although they may be smart enough to maneuver the media so that they are able to earn money, necessarily knows how to spend the money
Yeah.
and how to take care of it, how to pay their taxes, all that kind of stuff.
okay. So I was just wondering if it ever took place in the state of Rhode Island, and not that you're aware of.
I'll find out. I haven't seen it.
All right, cool. How you doing, Sue?
Very good.
Yeah, everything all right?
You know,
As well as can be
I know
expected.
it's Thursday.
Now, do you and I think that Joe should have a conservator appointed for him to handle his money?
Oh, I'd like that. I'm not good.
Don't you think it should be you and I who are taking over his
Oh, wow.
cash?
Hey, wait a minute.
I have, after owning my own business and then seeing other businesses and seeing, okay, you could do this, this, and this to save some money. And, yeah, I could do that.
Good, good.
I could do that.
Let's see if we can get him declared incompetent and take over.
Right?
Well, it's too bad you can't practice law in Massachusetts.
Darn, darn.
Oh, here we go. Go ahead.
All right. Well, as soon as I win the lottery, all right, I'll let you know. Okay, so you can handle it for me.
You were advertising today that they have a $1 million a year lottery in Massachusetts, but the tickets cost $50 a piece.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, it's a lot. It's
Is that
a gamble.
weekly, monthly, daily? What's the.
Yearly, I think.
No, to get the ticket. Like, do they sell it every week?
I don't
You know,
know.
like Powerball, Mega Millions, or scratch tickets, or whenever you want.
I don't see it just yet. Let's.
He's giving it consideration.
Right?
Right.
Hey, 50
Hey,
bucks is
I'm
50
honored.
bucks.
I'm getting
Okay.
consideration here.
The Massachusetts Lottery has introduced a new scratch ticket.
Scratch. Okay.
Lifetime millions could be worth $1 million a year for life. Grand prize winners could also choose a one-time payout of $50 million. However, the cost to play is $50 every time you buy a ticket.
Okay.
So there you go.
Doesn't tell you what the odds are either.
No,
Yeah, that was my next question.
but the higher you pay for a scratch ticket, the better the prizes are.
Okay.
You spend $2.
Yeah, but
you
are
get
the
'em-
odds better? So the better the prizes are
Well, it-
versus better the
dude,
odds. It's
It
two
all
different
depends on
things.
how many tickets they print up.
Yeah.
They probably print
Well, yeah,
up
like
far
you-
less than the $2
Like
tickets.
local raffles, you see the same thing. These tickets are only $100, but only
We're only
1,000
selling
will be
100,
sold.
yeah.
Whatever it is. So
Okay.
Is that a good? Is that my good retirement plan? Stop buying these $50 scratch tickets.
I think his better retirement plan would be he pays you and I $50
to take
a
care of
week.
his money, because if you do the math, I mean, you're looking at $350 a week, and that's buying one ticket per day. So it's
gonna add up after a while.
Darn right. Do the math by the month. It gets even better.
Well, I plan on winning right away, so
Oh, so
Oh, okay.
don't we all?
That-
Don't we all?
that's my plan. All right. Reaction to first, John Ward is going to run for mayor.
Great.
You like
I
it?
think he's a very capable individual. I think Bob Phillips is a capable individual. This will be a very interesting election.
It sure will be. Sue, any thoughts when you heard John
Well, I
Ward?
thought
the
Dan
news?
Gendron was also running.
Dan is running for city council,
Okay, because
and he won the election on Tuesday.
okay, that's
well,
what I
primary.
saw. Okay.
Primary came in first
Primary,
place.
yep.
Adam Bernetti came in second place.
Yep.
And they're going to vote again in March. You guys get to vote again in March to see who replaces Chris Beauchamp on the council, and they'll be on the council until November when there's another election for everybody on the council.
Gotcha.
So right now he's running for just to be on the city council.
Oh, see, everybody was saying he should be running for mayor.
Well, he's got it. Well, maybe he wants to see if he gets on the council first, and then do the council work for a little while, and then maybe he'll make a decision.
See,
on
I've been
that.
a little out of the loop because I was away, so
Yeah.
it's difficult watching North Carolina news, trying to keep up with what's going on locally.
Well, John just announced yesterday.
Gotcha.
Officially announced yesterday that he's running, and we had the voting yesterday as well. Nope, Tuesday, and
Tuesday, yeah.
and Dan and Adam move on.
Well, I think
for
they're
city
both
council.
very well known in the community and have both done a lot for the community. Mm-hmm. So, that's always a plus right there. Well known, and I know, Bob goes to pretty much every local event. He went
Yeah.
to my fundraiser for my husband, and Bob's always, his face is always out there.
And we'll see. The current mayor, Chris Beauchamp, has not said anything official
If he's going to run.
about running for re-election in November. So there's him to consider, and then there's anybody else that decides to throw their hat in the ring. Bob's considering it, but he hasn't.
What? No way.
No, just that's a flat no.
Bob does not have the
The
ability
wherewithal,
to serve in any of those capacities. Thank you.
Okay. All right, we're going to take a break here on the Coffee and program, and more is coming your way. Comments and questions can be called in at 766-1240.
For an Allstate agent, providing protection options that fit your life is something they take, well, personally. Allstate agents are committed to learning about your needs and helping customize protection to meet them. From bundling your home and auto insurance with ease to evaluating optional coverage, your Allstate agent can help build an insurance proposal that fits your life. And just as important as learning what you need is learning what you don't. Because helping you get coverage you want with savings you deserve is what Allstate is all about. It's time to get coverage that's catered to you. Are you in good hands? Call Kara and Celeste Benjamin at the Benjamin Agency. One agency, two locations in North Smithfield and Bellingham. One telephone number, 765-5000. Subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and Allstate Property and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
The Coffee and Panel is enjoying coffee from Down East Coffee Roasters. All their coffee is roasted right here in Rhode Island. Down East Coffee Roasters is available at all Little General stores.
Have you heard of Scott McGee with RE/MAX Properties? He's been selling real estate in Rhode Island and Massachusetts for the last 17 years, and you can see that he loves what he does. Scott, as well as his team, take pride in what they call the fair and honest team. No gimmicks. And no, they're not buying your house if it doesn't sell, etc. Just fair and honest real estate. Scott personally works with tons of sellers and buyers and specializes in residential properties as well as commercial, and he's always very fair and offers super competitive rates. Remember, this is probably the biggest move in dollars that you will ever spend or receive. You want to go with a trusted and experienced agent. Scott is fair, honest, and modest, always puts the clients first, and he also dealt with literally almost any situation. You really need to look at your real estate needs as a business. You want to pay and get the right money now so that you're not paying for it later. Trust me. So why not give Scott McGee a call at 401-639-2906. That's 401-639-2906.
We're back on Coffee and Joe Callahan here with Bob Lauder and Sue Tessier-McKenzie, who's about to give us his little introduction for you, Sue. A first message from the Blackstone Valley Call and Times. And how's the move going?
So last week when I was here, I mentioned that we have moved out of our building since 1892, which, you know, of course, you have your own challenges, completely different. But we're doing well. We're right across from City Hall. I believe it's 154 Main Street. So we're still on Main Street. We still have, you know, the window, storefront, et cetera. So we are, you know, accepting customers to our new building, whether it's to I can't say to pick up a paper yet because that is a transition. We were having papers delivered to our Southern Rhode Island group. Like today's call has been sent to the Southern Rhode Island. We need to figure how, because that's such a wind tunnel over there that we can't just have papers dropped. So we'll be discussing that this morning. But yeah, it's a nice move, nice, you know, open space. So, yeah, I like it.
Well, good.
I like
I'm
it.
glad it's working out.
And if anybody has any questions, soon enough we will be having our daily papers delivered as we always have. So if somebody's missing a paper, stop in, pick it up, give us a call, whatever. If you want to call first to see if we are getting the papers, you can call my cell phone, 487-4136. The move just took place on Monday, which is why we're still kind of getting the little kinks out of it.
Gotcha.
So.
All right, very good.
Can I make one clarification? Because
Yes.
Sue raised this while the commercial was running.
All right.
When I said Bob should not be running for mayor, I meant me.
You.
I was not referring to Bob Phillips.
I see.
Okay. I think the choice between Bob Phillips and John Ward is going to be incredibly difficult because both of them I believe to be really, really qualified individuals to do this job. So, but the Bob I was saying shouldn't be mayor. It's Lauder.
All right.
He shouldn't be mayor.
I was stumped during the commercial. We went to commercial break, and I was like, what?
Sorry, we weren't crystal clear on that.
Good.
It's just me. I had a little lapse for a moment.
I mean, it may come down to just one single issue between Bob and John.
Yeah.
And that would have to be your own personal take on where the issues are and where you fall on them when you try to make a decision there in the voting booth. So it's a tough choice, and I'm glad I don't have to make it. live out of town, you know.
You're right,
So
right?
not me. It's not up to me. All right, we had some exciting news yesterday. There's you can see it on Channel 10's website. There is cell phone video of a man, an anonymous man, who didn't want to give
Oh,
his
I
name,
know what you're talking about.
who saved a toddler's life. The toddler was wandering around on the second floor of a building, just out on the roof, and so he must have scaled the outside of the building.
Well, they show him just as he's jumping onto the roof, but that had to be how he did it.
Yeah.
Yeah, having
And so, did he carry the child down, or did he put the
no
child back
into the window? So the window
was open?
From what I heard on the news, the
Yeah.
mother opened the window because it was too hot.
hot.
Which brings me to another topic but we won't go there. So it was too hot. She opened up the window, and the child climbed out. Now I have two grandsons that are 5 and under, and I used to say we used to watch DJ walk to the door, pull up something, get up, unlatch the high lock that he couldn't otherwise reach, and just open the hallway door. And we're like, well, wait a minute. This kid's going to be one of those on the news wandering toddler.
Yeah,
And so, my daughter and her husband ended up putting
even higher.
all the way to the top because that's what they do. It's like this little challenge. That's what they do. They figure out how to do what they're not supposed to.
They're always watching.
This one, the window was open.
Yeah.
But you're right; they are always watching. Not that the child saw his mom or dad climb out that window and hang on the roof, but who knows? You never know.
The really remarkable part of the story is the person who saved the child. He must have been incredibly athletic
Yep.
and
Well, yes.
quick-minded because he apparently leaped from the sidewalk to partway up the building where he was able to get some kind of hold and then levered himself up onto the balcony roof. It's amazing that
The story does say he scaled the front of the building, and they kept saying the toddler kept coming to the edge of the
Yep.
roof,
Right.
while people were down watching, and they said, "Well, we gotta save it before it falls."
Absolutely.
for that
Absolutely.
individual to have made that decision
Yeah.
and been able to implement it is really, really incredible.
Yeah, he just. You're absolutely right. Maybe he has a child. Whatever the case is, he just acted on it. I'm surprised it weren't more like I'm that person that I see something that doesn't look right, I pull over and try to do whatever I can to help. I see a strange person. If I see a child riding a bike, 12, 13, 14, 15, I don't care how old you are, and they fall, which happens all the time, let's face it, I'm going to pull over and make sure the child is all right. Period.
Yeah.
And this guy he was in a car, from what I understand, and hopped out. And
Oh, I didn't
did
know he was
that.
in a car.
That's
Okay, I
what
thought he
I
just
was
might have been
told.
walking down the street.
Yeah,
All right. The DCYF has been notified about the incident.
I'm sure.
So I guess they'll do their investigation. Channel 10 did try to talk to the mom, but she didn't want to talk to them.
Okay.
Okay. So it's just
Yeah.
But so good news all the way around.
I think
He
the
was
real
saved,
hero is
period.
that man who
Well, yes.
took action.
Who
Yeah.
wants to remain anonymous? And okay, and then I guess he scaled back down the building.
Right, what was he
Got
going to
his
do?
car.
Also climb in the window?
Hello.
Just cutting through.
The child's fine.
Yeah.
And then they said, "Hey, who are you?" "No, I want to remain anonymous." So, all right.
Wow.
So wow. And in another story, also from Channel 10, Sue, when you had your limousine company,
Yeah.
and you must have seen a lot of crazy drivers.
Oh, for the love of God, I could do a whole show on that.
All right, so there's a story here. Massachusetts man facing several charges, after he stole. You ever see those commercials for 1-800-GOT-JUNK?
Yep.
He stole one of those trucks. All right, and now he's speeding down Pulaski Boulevard in Bellingham. And crashed into back of a Jeep.
Oh, jeez.
He's from Ashland, Massachusetts.
I know Ashland well.
That's a pretty good distance from Bellingham. Anyway, they do say that according to Bellingham police, they do say he was on something, high on drugs, when the truck when they hit the back of the truck. Let's see. He swerved through traffic at nearly 80 miles an hour. Can you imagine going 80?
Wow.
Down Pulaski Boulevard?
Down Pulaski Boulevard.
No.
No, not at all. So he hit the Jeep Laredo. Somehow the man ends up in West Greenwich. I don't know if he was pulled over or what, because he's got damage to the 1-800-GOT-JUNK truck. And so they pull him over, and he says, yeah, I was in a crash, but I have no memory of the crash. And so,
Wow.
or of where or when it happened. So West Greenwich gets on whatever they do, and anybody looking for a hit and run anywhere, and Bellingham says, yeah, why don't you send him up our way? And they put two and two together. And
So he hit on Pulaski Boulevard in Bellingham.
somehow made it to West
Got
Greenwich.
to. There's an awful lot of time and distance in between Pulaski Boulevard, 99, 295, 95, and all of that.
Mm-hmm.
How did that happen?
Oh, I don't know. So, wow. So this man from Ashland, he will be in Milford District Court for all the fun.
I saw
next month.
an article that was talking about carjacking and how a number of carjackings has increased dramatically in the last year or so. What is being done with the vehicles that are being stolen? Are they being put back in the market? Are they being salvaged? When you have a carjacking and someone takes the vehicle, what do they do with it?
Well, two things. I guess,
Yeah.
well, more than two, but
Yeah.
the first thing I'm thinking of is selling it for parts.
Parts is a biggie.
And just they're going to wherever they want to get to, and then they just leave it.
Okay.
Yeah, because a lot of
don't-
them are recovered, but the other one is sending them overseas.
Oh, yeah?
All right.
Yeah,
For the parts?
between the parts and just once the car's
Just get a
overseas,
car? Oh, they
it doesn't matter what the numbers are.
Yeah, it's out of the United States.
Right.
Don't a lot of new vehicles have locators on them where they can be tracked?
The newer ones do. They don't have GPS in the car. It's got to be turned on,
Yeah, right.
I guess. So I don't know if the technology is that far advanced yet.
Okay.
It's possible. So
And it's also certain makes and models
yeah,
that are the
Certain
higher
theft
word.
rate.
I can't. Yeah, not just a higher theft rate, but there's a reason for it. The demand is more for those.
No.
Just like right now,
Okay, yeah.
Hyundais are being stolen because there is a lapse in the mechanics of the vehicle. So they have even given out those bars that you lock your steering wheel with, because it seems like anybody's key or whatever the case is can start a car.
Okay.
And of course, the newer vehicles, you don't have to. There's no.
You don't
ignition.
have a key.
You have one, but it's just going to be near the car. So I
Yep,
guess,
it's the fob.
yeah, I guess if you wanted to, although this is risky, if you were being carjacked, it's just to take the fob and throw it. And now,
Right, 'cause
you
you
can't
can't-
start the car. The fob is too far away.
Yep. Or if the car is running, you can still drive the vehicle. You can't drive it too far, but you can still drive the vehicle, because I've done it where I was stuck. Now, at a local dealer, I left my car for service. When I went and picked it up, they had left it running because it was a cold day. I drove away and then realized I'm beeping and this, that, and the other.
Yeah.
I have no key. They had to come and bring it to me because now the car died.
Oh,
And you
okay.
can't restart it.
So how far can you go? 5 miles, 10 miles before?
It depends. For me, I don't know why I noticed it right away. Probably because it was beeping at me. So it might have been from, just so people point of reference, Tasca to RJ Hill Liquors.
All right, that's
Which
pretty,
is
that's-
less than a mile.
Yeah,
That's
not very
close.
far at all. Okay.
Right. So you can't get far.
Yeah.
But it's also going to tell you the key's missing.
Ah, okay.
All
So,
right.
so there you go. So there's a myriad of reasons, Bob. Just they're trying to make a quick getaway. That's another one. I've seen where other people were, like I don't know if they robbed a bank or they robbed something, and then they make a few carjackings along the way to try to throw the police off.
Yeah.
I steal this car, only drive it for a little while. Okay, steal another car, because they know they're looking for the car he just took. That's another one. All right, we'll get to another break here on Coffee Ad. So, Sue, another message, please, from the Blackstone Valley Call and Times. And just numbers and where they are and all that fun stuff.
Once again, we have moved to our new building, 154 Main Street, right across from City Hall. We are open. You can come on in. They do have the main doors locked because there are different offices in the upstairs, but we're right there. We can't miss you. Big open windows. We are Christina, which is our classified manager, is there daily, that she can help you with any obituaries, legals, etc. I am in the advertising side of things, so if anybody's looking to do one of our big specials, which is the winter special, you can call me on my cell phone at 401-487-4136. And anything else that's missing or that you need or you have questions or are interested in when the newspapers will be delivered, please also call my cell phone at 487-4136.
All right, Sue, thanks. Time for a look at the forecast, which is being brought to you by Compassion International.
Sunny skies today with a high of 45 and a calm wind. Tonight, increasingly cloudy, overnight low of 28. Friday's weather, a cloudy start, gradually becoming mostly sunny with a high of 48. Saturday, a 30% chance of some showers in the afternoon, mostly cloudy all day, 55 for a high. Sunday, mostly sunny and a high near 49. Monday, a 30% chance of rain in the afternoon, partly sunny skies before that, high of 45. Tuesday, a 40% chance of rain and possibly snow, mostly cloudy all day, high of 40. And on Wednesday, breezy, mostly sunny and 34.
Currently outside the Navigant Credit Union broadcast studio on the corner of Park Ave and Kennedy Street with sunny skies, we have 32 degrees. Families in poverty are facing a global food crisis. $50 provides a food kit to feed a family for a month. Just text the word radio to 97646.
Hi, I'm Kathleen LaValle at The Honey Shop. Check out our Facebook page at The Honey Shop RI, and there you'll see a whole list of our new classes and lots of fun things to do. You could join us for making limoncello, pizzas, pasta making, cheese making, so many fun things to do and learn.
Thanks, Kathy. Folks, if you love food, you'll love the Honey Shop, right behind the Dunkin' Donuts at Park Square in Woonsocket.
The next time you're arguing with yourself about whether or not you should get something to eat at McDonald's, do this instead. Go the extra mile and go to the Beef Barn. The sandwiches are so much better, especially their slow-cooked roast beef. And of course, their French fries are the best around. The Beef Barn has 2 locations, Industrial Drive in North Smithfield and Pulaski Boulevard in Bellingham.
Hi, this is Mark Branchard. I'm inviting you to the Beef Barn.
Hey gang, here it comes, a lover's holiday.
I'm in love with you.
Valentine's Day is almost here, so we're doing a special Saturday block party this weekend on ON Radio. Gather together with that special someone and share a lover's dedication. I want you to be sure to join me here at 99.5 and 1240 AM or from anywhere in the world via OneSocketRadio.com. And remember, I love you all.
We love you too.
Well, thank you so much. Saturday from 4 until 7 on ON Radio.
All right, it's Coffee and on ON Radio. Thanks for joining us. Joe Callahan here with Sue Tesser McKenzie and Bob Lauder. And Bob, time for a first message from your law office, please.
Thank you. Good morning. This is Attorney Bob Lauder. An incident took place after I left the radio station 2 weeks ago, which emphasized to me the need for taking precautions with your personal information. As I was driving to the probate court, I received a message on my cell phone, which broadcast through the radio in my car. The caller told me that I had won a phenomenal sum of money, plus a new Mercedes-Benz car, as a result of my participation in a nationally known contest. Now, I knew I'd never entered the contest and never provided this cell phone number to any contest. Unfortunately, I arrived at the court before I heard the remainder of the message. I anticipate the caller would follow up on this amazing news with a request for personal information, such as my Social Security number or bank account number, in order to facilitate the payment of the money. In other words, the caller was attempting to secure personal and confidential information for the purpose of fraudulently gaining access to my meager funds. My warning to all of you, please be very careful in divulging personal information to any third party, no matter how enticing the request. Once the personal information is the control of a third party, it is very easy for that person or entity to steal your funds from your account, to charge unauthorized expenses to your account, to intercept your Social Security income, and basically to destroy your life. In the event that you receive any such enticements or offers, I strongly recommend that you discuss the matter with an attorney before providing any information whatsoever. If you'd like to discuss legal matters with me, please contact my office for an appointment. My name is Bob Lauder. My telephone number is 762-4550. And the disclaimer. The Supreme Court of Rhode Island licenses all attorneys in the general practice of law. The court is not licensed to certify any attorney as an expert or specialist in any field of practice. Thank you.
All right there, Bob. Good information right there. So you didn't call them back, huh?
I didn't get that far, but no.
That's too bad.
And I didn't get the Mercedes car either.
No, well, it's on its way. Don't worry about it.
I'm sure.
Right?
All right. So the governor of Rhode Island, he's got his own. His plate is full, especially dealing with the Washington Bridge situation down there in East Providence. So, but I'm looking into Massachusetts, and so Governor Maura Healey, she has nominated appeals court judge Gabrielle Wolhogian to a vacant seat on the Massachusetts Supreme Judicial Court. Now, this doesn't sound like such a big deal right now until you find out that she is the governor's former long-term domestic partner.
Okay.
What?
What is her qualifications otherwise?
They're former lovers.
Well, no, I got that.
Oh, okay.
I was just like, what?
So the chairman of the state Republican Party says it's inappropriate for Healey to nominate a person she's had a long-term romantic relationship with in the past.
Geez, you think?
Well, I'm not
What do
necessarily.
you think, Bob?
I think that
Bob's
they
a
should
little
be.
left
I
here,
think
so-
they should be looking at the actual qualifications of the individual. Is she a very good judicial scholar? Does she have the ability to serve in this capacity in a appropriate manner?
Let's say she does.
Okay.
Should Maura Healey still have appointed her because of their past relationship?
I can't
I don't know
even
if
win
the-
tickets to the Stadium Theater because I'm associated with the call. I mean, how do you get? No. Somebody
Well,
else
the
should have
Stadium
stepped
Theater
in.
may have a higher standard than the Supreme Judicial Court of Massachusetts. I think it looks inappropriate, but at the same time, I think that the real question is what are the qualifications of this particular individual compared with the qualifications of others in the area of which they're actually appointing her. They're not appointing her to be a consort to the court. They're appointing her to be a member of the court, and consequently, I think they should be looking at that. It's easy for the Republicans to say, "Oh, this is a conflict of interest," and it's unseemly. But I think the real issue is this person qualified?
But get somebody else involved in that decision. That's my opinion. You're right. She may be highly qualified. And I don't care if it's Democrat, Republican. I don't care. That's got nothing to do with it, in my opinion. It's got to do with being ethical. Get somebody else involved. If you think that your person, regardless of who that person is, I don't care if you're close friends or neighbors, if you feel that that person is highly qualified, get somebody else involved in that. This way, nobody can accuse you of anything.
Well, I believe this is not an appointment to the court. This goes before a judicial nominating committee.
It does. It goes to the governor's council.
And they have to make a final decision. Then I would imagine it gets approved by the state legislature.
Well, I'm not sure. I don't have that information, but it's
In Rhode Island, it would.
it would. Okay.
Yeah.
So the woman, the Republican Party, they're saying the governor should withdraw her name, or the governor's council should just outright reject her.
That's the privilege the governor's council has. Right.
Oh, okay. And then there's the other, always up for good conspiracy theory. Is the governor saying, "Hey, everybody, look at this thing with the nominee for the Supreme Judicial Court while I'm doing something over here that I don't want you to pay attention to."
Didn't she do that before?
Well, she seems to do that, but she keeps opening up. She keeps taking rec centers to make them temporary housing for the migrants that keep showing up.
Isn't that sort of the theme of that song in Best Little Whorehouse in Texas, where the governor is singing about "Now you see me, now you don't, I've come and gone. I love to dance a little sidestep."
It's been a long, long time since
I
I've
was
seen
just
that
going to
movie.
say,
Oh, okay.
wow.
Well, I've only just started watching talkies in the theaters.
But
It's still black and white.
but that's
Yeah.
but that's still an issue, and maybe she's trying to hoodwink the Massachusetts people. Okay, look at this over here, but don't look at what I'm really doing over here.
Isn't that true of a number of politicians?
Absolutely. I mean,
Okay.
this isn't something new she's come up with.
Right? Yeah, because she did it before. We talked about it before on air.
All right. So, well, we'll see if this woman gets keeps going on and keeps passes the governor's council up there to get to the Supreme Court of Massachusetts. All right. Up in Medway, Massachusetts, which is not too far away.
Nope. Know it well.
Okay. Well, you know where the Shaw's supermarket is in Medway?
Yep.
Okay. They're having issues there. And it seems that on early release days, the Medway Middle School students are coming in and being disruptive, knocking over displays, stealing, and just otherwise being, pain in the butt kids. To the point where the managers had to call the police and the school, and the school has sent a message home to parents asking them to help prevent future incidents.
Wow.
Wow is right. Okay.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah, and they enter the store all at once. So here come like 30 kids, like all at
Okay.
once, and then of course supermarket will split up.
So
go down
I'm
a bunch of different
wondering
aisles.
if they could do something like a lot of the smaller convenience stores do, except take it next level. Smaller convenience stores say no backpacks allowed, or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So now you're saying you got 30 kids walking in, so maybe you have to get a police officer at the door.
And now it's an extra expense.
Right, but maybe it would deter, and maybe that extra expense would not continue to be incurred. So now they get
Do
the
it
kid
for
at
like
the
a
door.
month.
It's like, give me,
Well.
all backpack needs to be checked, and I need all your names so I can make sure I give the right kid the backpack. So now you at least have something there to
Mm-hmm.
go by, and I think that would kind of
They do say the problem is only happening on early dismissal
Right,
days
that's
and
what I'm
not on
saying.
regular days. So yeah, go get a police officer.
for that
when,
day.
when are the next early dismissal days?
Yep.
And have the cruiser out front too. Right in the park, right in the fire lane.
Yeah,
Maybe even have the lights
lights
going.
flashing, absolutely.
And have the cop either
You need
right
something
outside
to
or right
deter
inside.
it. If you're not
Yeah.
going to deter it, and you're just going to, don't wait till it happens. Deter it from happening.
Have
Take
them,
their backpacks, get their names, so that you can make sure you give the right kid. They excuse being. Make sure you give the right kid the backpack. So now the kid's going to say, "Oh, wait a minute. A, they got my backpack.
No, yeah,
B,
with everything.
I'm on camera. C, they got my name."
So Bob, you take counterpoint here. What would the ACLU say about something like that?
I don't know what the ACLU would say about it,
All
but I
right.
think Sue's analysis is pretty good for deterrent.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. So you're
For
okay
a
with it?
non-lawyer,
For a non-lawyer.
For
Pretty
non-lawyer,
good.
yeah.
All right. Well, maybe they will go in that direction because
I'll give him a call.
there's only a few more months left of the school year. There's probably early dismissal days once a month from
Right.
here, so we're looking at 5 more days to do this. But
I think it would
I would
be.
imagine
I
it's
think
the
it'd
early
be
dismissal is
something.
because the school buses aren't there at the time to take the children away.
no, they'll be there,
Yeah, but
Yeah,
I mean,
but
they're,
they're just not taking the bus. Well, maybe they are. I don't know how far Shaw's is from the Medway Middle School.
Not only that, but you have to keep in mind that if parents are working, so the child would normally have to parent pick them up maybe. So maybe on those early dismissal. Happens in Uxbridge, happens here in Cumberland. So maybe the parents aren't available to pick them up at that time. So they walk home. But now they get together and stop somewhere. But there's a lot of places that say no backpacks, no this, no that in the store.
My daughter and her friends have done that before, not going to Shaw's, but on early release days would go to like a diner
Yeah.
in town. And I said, "You have a good time?" "Yeah, but crowded with kids,
Yep.
And no issues have happened. But I'm sure the restaurant's not too crazy about all these kids coming in. But
No.
but money's money, and
Right, they have
and
to look at it that way.
yeah,
But yeah,
and
there's
we'll-
got to be ways to deter certain things like
So
that.
just in case you happen to be at the Shaw Supermarket in Medway, look out for the kids.
Yep. There you go.
All right. Bob's going to run. He's got to get to probate court once again. So we're going to go with a second message from attorney Bob Lauder.
Thank you. Good morning. This is Attorney Bob Lauder. The topic of my second commercial was suggested by my assistant, who noted that last Friday was Groundhog Day and wondered if there were any cases pertaining to this issue. While there are many cases concerning the hunting of groundhogs, which appear in many states to be in open season, There is one case involving the famous $70 million grossing movie starring Bill Murray, which was released in 1993. The case is known as Arden versus Columbia Pictures Industries and was 17 pages long. The claim was brought by the author who in 1981 published and copyrighted a novel entitled One Fine Day. The novel was a dark and introspective featuring witchcraft and an encounter with God, and the events of a particular day repeated themselves over and over. The movie, produced by Columbia, was a light-hearted romantic comedy in which the events of the main character are portrayed over and over. The author alleged that Columbia copied certain elements of his novel, including the plot, mood, character, pace, setting, and sequence of events, and that Columbia owed him funds for the unfair competition and unjust enrichment which it enjoyed. After a discussion of the plots in both the novel and the movie, which turns this judicial opinion into a sort of Reader's Digest condensation of the works, the Federal District Court for Southern District of New York ruled in favor of Columbia. The court found that there were significant differences between the novel and the movie, and that the copyright law protects a particular expression of his or her rights and ideas, and not the ideas themselves. In no case does copyright protection extend to any ideas or concept, regardless of the form in which it is described, explained, illustrated, or embodied in such a work. What is protected is the original or unique way that an author expresses those ideas. If you'd like to discuss legal matters with me, please call my office for an appointment. My name is Bob Lauder. My telephone number is 762-4550. And the disclaimer, the Supreme Court of Rhode Island licenses all attorneys in the general practice of law. The court does not license and certify any attorney as an expert or specialist in any field of practice. Thank you.
All right, Bob, before you go, who's going to win on Sunday, Kansas City or San Francisco? Just pick-
Kansas City
just-
and San Francisco.
Just pick one.
Well, let's see.
I know, right? Are we going to really go?
We don't
and
need an analysis on
analyze?
this.
You're asking me for a
I
prediction.
just want you to flip a coin.
Okay, no, I would go with the Taylor Swift team.
All right, Casey, it is. Very good. All right, Bob, thank you very much.
He didn't
And,
know which team it was.
know, it's a
He
Taylor
just
Swift
knew
team.
Taylor Swift was involved.
The NFL likes people like this. All right, we're taking a break here on Coffee and more coming up. Stay tuned.
Krakow Deli Bakery and Smokehouse offers authentic homemade Polish food to make your next meal real special. Try our many varieties of hot and fresh pierogi with onions and dirty sour cream, or pick up golubki, kielbasa, babkas, or some fresh rye bread. We also offer a large selection of specialty and imported goods. We're open Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays from 9 to 6, Wednesdays 9 to 5, and Saturdays 8 to 5. Follow us on Facebook to learn about our weekly specials. Located at 855 Social Street in Woonsocket, Krakow Deli Bakery and Smokehouse has all the authentic Polish foods you love.
Hi, everyone. This is Bill Schneck with the Autumn Fest Steering Committee. I am very happy to announce that on Thursday, February 22nd, there will be a benefit dinner at Cello's Restaurant, 490 Clinton Street, here in Woonsocket. Take your family out to dinner at Cello's or order takeout to enjoy at home from Cello's, and up to 20% of your dinner order value, excluding tax and tip, will be donated to Autumn Fest, Inc. Please pick up your free Autumn Fest dinner certificates for Cellos at this radio station, WOON Radio, 985 Park Avenue here in the city, or any member of the Autumn Fest Steering Committee. One certificate will cover your entire group. Certificates will not be available at Cellos that night. I look forward to seeing you and your family down at Cellos Restaurant for dinner on Thursday night, February 22nd. And as always, I greatly appreciate your ongoing support of Autumn Fest. Thank you very much.
All right, it is Coffee In on ON Radio. This is Joe Callahan. Sue Tesher McKenzie is here, and Dave Richards has joined us back here at the Coffee In table. So this is what's going. This is going on in Providence. This always just people just don't. To me, they don't think a little more long term. So students at a Providence High School walked
Can't
out.
get some people to even consider what they're having for supper tonight.
Right?
Students at a Providence High School walked out of class on Wednesday to rally against a planned merger.
Right.
The protesters are from 360 High School. That's the name of the high school.
Right.
Marched to the city's public school district headquarters. At issue is a plan to absorb the school into Juanita Sanchez High School. Both schools are in the same building. This kind of makes sense. But each has their own staff. Now, the merger will cost 34 of the 360 high school staff jobs. There's a lot of crossover, and we
You're right.
don't need 5 art teachers. Sorry.
Don't
District-
need two deans.
Yeah, the district spokesperson says Juanita Sanchez High is being redesigned into a life sciences school, and that the 360 high school students may stay or transfer to another school, your choice. Another reason for the merger is that 360 High has been considered by the district as a, quote, chronically underperforming school. So, all right. But, if you're one of the kids, how you spend, hopefully, just 4 years at high school. Mm-hmm. And then you're on to do other things. So what if they merge? You're going to be gone.
Right.
Especially, it doesn't say if the seniors walked out. You're not going to be there when they merge next year anyway, so what do you care?
Right.
Why do you care?
They're being taught to be good citizens and to respond to evil wherever they perceive it.
They're being
Evil.
Yeah, that's a strong word. I just think
course it
that
is.
everybody is exercising their right to, I'll use the word appeal, decisions, whether it's warranted or not. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. Bob's gone, so he can't, he can't chime in on my statement, but I think that's it. They're exercising their right to appeal whatever decisions just because they don't agree with it.
People in high school, who
Yeah.
are students in high school, do not have the benefit of the years of watching the world go by that
Right.
the rest of us around this table have today.
Mm-hmm.
And right, and it's not their fault. They
just
didn't
young.
do anything wrong to not have that perspective, but they don't have the perspective.
So do you think they're
So
being
you take
encouraged
it-
by their teachers?
I think that they are being encouraged by circumstances and by the lessons they have learned up to date. And that, if you see something wrong, and I said evil, of course, it was supposed to be entertaining, but you see something that you perceive as wrong, and if you stand and do nothing about it, then something bad happens. And like that, I've had that experience myself. I've been the Neville Chamberlain of Woonsocket, trying to appease things and try to get by and get along. And guess what? Sometimes things just get a whole lot worse because you embolden those who have very selfish ideals. And so I get that, and the youngsters are fresh with that lesson in their minds, that if they see something that's wrong, then they should speak out about it, because they do have the right to speak out. It's a right that they haven't exercised much, so I'm sure they feel good about
But they
it.
don't have the right to walk out of school.
Well, you see, if they're talking about it and no one's taking them seriously, then
Then
the
that's
what
what
you
they're
do.
going
human
to do.
element becomes involved. The human element is that if you are dedicating yourself to a certain result and you're getting nowhere, you redouble your efforts.
My
And as you
question
redouble
is
your
why?
efforts,
The why being why, because the school could have, if a student has this opinion, I would want to know, why do you feel that strongly about the school not going away?
Not merging. Yeah.
Right. Why do you feel? Because
No. Sue, now you should be smart enough to know that, and I'm sure you are, that dealing with an emotional situation in a logical manner is a non-starter.
it doesn't always work.
and they
but,
are emotional about this.
right. But
Their
it
favorite
led-
teacher may be
it
walking
didn't
the
just
streets.
happen today. This has been an ongoing thing, and they finally had nobody listening. Is the point?
Right.
I'm going
They're
on your
They're
point.
not getting anywhere, so,
so
they're
they're not
redoubling their
getting
efforts.
anywhere. Well, maybe it's because nobody's listening to them.
Okay.
So let's talk. Let's find
Well,
out why.
no.
I mean,
But you must understand that nobody listening to them is not what's happening.
Right, but
People
that's
are
why they're
listening,
walking out.
but they're not persuading anyone
Well,
Right.
things aren't going to
to
change.
think like them.
They're still going to. These two schools are still going to merge.
Yeah,
So
so
you walking out of class proves nothing.
But youngsters don't have that perspective in life.
Yeah.
They don't. They are easily focused on the here and now as opposed to years from now.
well, I would give students credit and say, let's
All right.
discuss this. Let's not get it to a heated side of things. Why? Tell me why you don't think they should merge. I'm curious.
All right. Note that was called in about this subject, 766-1240. The kids that walked out of school should be held accountable and disciplined.
Yes.
Well, they'll
They're
be
not supposed to
responsible for
walk
the
out of
schoolwork
school.
that they
No,
lost.
they won't be disciplined at all.
No,
so.
of course they won't.
All right, on another topic, and I don't even know if this is going to bug Dave like crazy, which is why I bring it up.
At the end of the program,
Yes,
almost.
But it's in the NFL.
I'm such an easy target.
Apparently.
In the NFL, they have what's called the Rooney Rule.
Oh yeah.
And the Rooney Rule is this.
It's stupid.
See, it's already bugging him.
It's already, yeah. I
No,
can see
they're
that.
already bugging me when they proposed it and put it in place. I said to myself, "When will you people understand?"
And he
you're
hasn't
not
let it go
supposed to
yet.
see
Well,
color?"
Dave, Sue, the rule requires that the NFL teams to interview at least one minority candidate during the hiring process. American First Legal, which is led by former Trump advisor Stephen Miller, filed a complaint with the U.S. Equal Employment Opportunity Commission, claiming the 2003 rule, I didn't know it was that old, is discriminatory. This is the latest in a string of complaints the group has filed against recently against various sports leagues and companies. In November, it targeted airlines for racial and sex discrimination. An NFL spokesperson told The Hill, which I guess is a website or something,
Publication,
that it's
yep.
proud of the work it has done to promote equal employment opportunities.
Right.
And I know Dave is always big on don't look at color, don't look at gender, hire the best person.
Right.
Oh,
Well,
I
that's the way
agree
I was taught.
100% with
But,
that.
but you see, here's the problem. The other side of my point of view is someone will say to me, "Yes, Dave, you're right in a perfect world, but it's not a perfect world, so we have to go mess it up a little bit to try to oversteer the ship in the right direction." And that's their opinion. It doesn't make them right and me wrong. It just makes them prevail. And I say, well, that's just fine. Just be sure to keep it up and don't change your attitude about this. Put those rules in place. And when white Anglo-Saxon males get to be a minority, we'll have all the gravy.
I'm not touching that. I'm not touching that at all.
Of course you're not.
I know when to
Because
say
I'm
when.
only I'm only having fun with you, but the point you're dealing with perpetrating a wrong to right a wrong,
Trying to right a wrong.
and that's a philosophical question that's gone on in this species for millennia. Perpetrating a wrong to right a wrong, it's the basis of retaliation, retribution, vengeance. It's the basis of all of those things that we all perceive as wrong. But life has not eradicated them yet. They still exist in our societies, and it's a human emotion that we have not weeded out of the species. I look forward to the day when we're a bit more enlightened and have a bit more, backbone. And things like that. But then again, I'm a dreamer. You
Good
see,
luck with that,
that's
Dave.
the whole thing.
Good luck with that, Dave.
Yeah, and
Right.
I don't say the people who are saying that you have to oversteer and correct a wrong with another wrong. I'm not saying that they are evil people. I'm simply saying, what a shame that you feel that this has got to be the way, that you feel that you have to right a wrong with a wrong.
They don't look at it as a wrong, though.
Well, oh no, the
fixing
enlightened,
it wrong with
the
a right.
enlightened will, and if they don't, then they'll have me screaming at them, showing them that it's wrong.
Mm-hmm.
But I have gone into that disagreement with people and debated it with people, and they will say, yes, but you have to right a wrong with a wrong sometimes.
Well, I can say this. I would not want to be hired for a job just because I'm a woman because they had to fill a quota. I would want it to be on my
Right.
merits. So, how does that person feel?
But
you know what I mean?
How would you like to be that person
That's
who
what I'm
everyone
saying.
knows was an EEO hire?
That's what I'm saying.
And
That's my point exactly.
How do you then fit into the team?
And prove
With
that you are
self-respect.
capable.
Right. So you end up overcompensating, overdoing this, and not having the joys of teamwork on an equal footing that you would have liked to have.
Yep.
So
Hey,
it's
at
not
5
fair
feet
on
tall,
either side. It's not
5
fair on
feet
either
tall,
side.
I've had to overcompensate a lot.
I had to
Even
overcompensate
driving
because
the
I was from
limo
Pasco,
because
for
I
Pete's
was a
sake.
woman driver.
So do you think anybody took me seriously in Woonsocket? Because I grew up in Pasco. You think anybody ever took me
Well,
seriously
see, I don't know
until
how
I
that
proved
works.
myself?
Yeah, I don't know how that works.
Yeah.
Going from.
I guess not, since you're bringing it up.
Everybody.
Are we still waiting?
everybody out there comes from some sort of a disadvantage. It might be that you are rich and grew up in a rich household, and that is a disadvantage to you in some circles. Everybody has a disadvantage in their life that if they are of good, strong character, they will try to equalize and overcome. And so everybody does, including the poor souls who are hired. And one comes to mind right away, who, and unfortunately, their peers still today don't take them as seriously as they should.
All right, we got to
'Cause
run.
they were a token
On
higher.
that note,
On that note, we got to go. But before we go, Sue, who wins the Super Bowl on Sunday?
I got to go with Casey.
KC. All right. Most of the Coffee and people are going with KC. A couple have gone with San Francisco, but majority so far.
I mean, they're
KC.
obviously both great teams if they're in the Super Bowl. So,
Right.
Yes.
Okay.
best of luck to them
Well
both.
said, Sue.
All right. So our
I
thanks to
say
Bob Lauder.
something's good sometimes.
You don't get to that game being lucky.
All right.
You get to that game being lucky and good.
Oh,
Our thanks to Bob Lauder, who was with us earlier today, and Sue, thanks for coming in today.
thank you for thank you for having me.
All right, and Dave, thanks for popping in and out.
And thank you for not asking me my opinion for the game.
To stay out, right?
We'll leave that for tomorrow.
That's tomorrow.
Yeah, I'll see you tomorrow on Coffee.
I don't need a whole analysis tomorrow. I just need a one-word answer.
Pinpoint.
No, you want to know what time it is? Go
All right,
ahead.
this is Joe Callahan. Have yourself a great day. Stay tuned for Gary
At your
Smith and the
own
crew.
peril.
Do You Remember is coming up at 9:30.
Gary's here already. It's going to be a great show.
Broadcasting live and local daily from the Navigant Credit Union broadcast studio at the corner of Park Avenue and Kennedy Street. This is WOON Woonsocket Radio. And now, the news. The Massachusetts Lottery has introduced a new scratch ticket. Lifetime Millions could be worth $1 million a year for life. Grand prize winners could also choose a one-time payout of $15 million if they don't think they're going to live that long. However, the cost to play is $50 a ticket.